Hello, everyone. Terve. I have had some people asking me why I decided to learn Finnish, so I thought that I would just go ahead and make a little video explaining my decision. So, just in general, I really like learning languages. My first language is American English, as you probably could guess from my accent. But I also grew up speaking a little bit of Polish because my family is from Poland. And I studied Russian when I was in university. I also went to university in Poland, so I improved my Polish skills a lot there. And I also ended up meeting a lot of people from all over the world because I was in an international program. So I got exposure to a lot more languages. When Duolingo came out, I was like, oh, wow, this is awesome. Like, this is like totally the app for me. I'm not really into games, but it feels kind of like a really fun game to me. I do not have any sponsorships with Duolingo. They're not paying me to talk about their product. I just generally find it to be a fun tool for learning languages. It might not be the best tool to learn a language, but it is a good way to get the basics and learn some words and learn how to read and write, which is really important. So, um, on Duolingo, I actually have a lot of languages that I've been learning. At first, I started with Polish just to keep up with my Polish because in the United States, they don't have a ton of people to speak Polish with. And I found it a good way to just stay sharp because it's not like a natural language to me. It is something that I really did have to learn. And it took me a long time to be able to like write in Polish. But I've gotten a lot better at it, although I've lost a little bit of my skill over time. But like I said, that's why I do Duolingo. I also, because of being a Euro fan and finding languages that I really like, and want to learn how to sing in, I have chosen a few other languages in Duolingo, including Romanian and Italian and Norwegian. Um, I have also done some lessons in Dutch, and I did enough Greek to be able to like get used to the sounds and learn how to read their alphabet. So I've done a whole bunch of languages in Duolingo. I probably would have started learning Finnish way earlier if I had known that it was actually an option. I guess I just never realized that it was one that I could learn. So I'm really excited now that Duolingo has Finnish, that I can learn it. Something that really attracts me to the Finnish language is just that it's very unique, as it's a Uralic language, and there's not many existing languages within that family anymore. Estonian is also similar. Um, and I just think it's really beautiful, and it has this really kind of rhythmic quality to it, which is something that makes it so nice for music. Another reason that I chose to learn Finnish is because I've always kind of had like a little bit of an attraction to Finland. When I was growing up, I came from a family that really loved hockey. We supported the Pittsburgh Penguins, or I shouldn't say supported, we support the Pittsburgh Penguins, and they have had a lot of Finnish players over time. And I remember being young and like reading through the little books that you get when you go to hockey games, because we would go to the games in Pittsburgh, and I would look at the names of all the players and I would learn their names. And the Finnish people always had the most interesting names. So like names that like always really kind of stood out to me were like Jarkko Ruutu, Jani Lakanen, and like Oli Mata. Um, and I don't know, something about the names, they just always sounded so different, um, and just interesting. And they all like, I think maybe because, I'm talking about being really young and seeing like the double letters in all of these names, which is just something that doesn't happen so frequently in English, but it is kind of like a feature of Finnish that it has all these double letters. So it has an interesting look to it and an interesting sound to it. So, yeah, so kind of like hockey was a little bit of a way into like the Finnish language. I'm sorry if that seems like a stereotype, although I think Finnish people are probably pretty proud of their hockey heritage. I also had friends from Finland. So when I was in high school, there was a foreign exchange student from Finland. And then when I went to school in Poland, I also had other friends who were exchange students from Finland. And just all the Finnish people I ever met were really nice. And I got along with them all really well. So kind of got a soft spot for Finnish people in that way. Another reason that I chose to learn Finnish is because I really like Finnish music. One of the first Finnish songs I ever heard was called Katalon Oma by the singer Kisu. Um, I just heard this song and was like, wow, like this is so beautiful. Like sometimes when I listen to it, I cry. And like I didn't even know what the words meant, but it was just like so beautiful and so powerful. And I just really loved that song. And then I started getting really into Eurovision, into like watching national finals. And of course, UMK is a really great national final and has been for a while. And the past couple years have been really, really, really great. So like I don't miss UMK because it's so good. This year's UMK was particularly good, and I really loved all of the songs, and so many of them were in Finnish. And I'd been thinking, like, I really want to be able to learn how to sing these songs because they sound so good. And Finnish has, like I said, this rhythm to it. So I was really excited to have the chance to be able to learn what the words actually mean and connect a little bit more to the music, which on its own, I really enjoy a lot. So another thing regarding UMK is that my favorite song, Cha Cha Cha, had won and is going to be going to Liverpool this year. And I am also going to be in Liverpool. And since Käärijä is going to be in Liverpool, I'm really hoping that there might be a chance that I can either get an interview or maybe even just like run into him and just get a chance to say hi and say a couple words. And I know that he is not super confident with his English. So I figured if I got a chance to speak with him, it would be nice to be able to speak a little bit of Finnish and maybe make him feel a bit more comfortable because I think everyone feels a bit more comfortable if they know that, they're not the only one that maybe isn't perfect at something or making mistakes because I'm sure I would make a mistake. And the last reason that I decided to learn Finnish is because I just would really like to visit Finland one day. Like I said, it's a country I've always kind of been a little bit drawn to, and I think it's really interesting in their language and their culture. And I would actually really love to go to UMK. I'm going to be going to Liverpool this year for Eurovision, and I probably won't be able to afford to go to Eurovision next year. Although if Finland wins Eurovision, then I'm definitely going to go whether I can afford it or not. But I was thinking, well, maybe next year, if I can't do Eurovision, I could do a national selection. And if there is one national selection that I would really like to see, it would be UMK. So kind of my like long-term plan right now is that I will keep learning Finnish and plan to actually go to Finland next February to hopefully see UMK. I am not afraid to go to Finland in the wintertime. I realize that in the summertime, when they're having all the music festivals and stuff, would probably be a better time to go. However, I'm not afraid of the snow. I am actually from one of the snowiest regions in the United States, a place called Erie, Pennsylvania. And I think the amount of snow that we get could rival most places in Finland. And I am very well prepared, and I've got all the winter gear to stay warm on a trip to Finland in February. So that's kind of the rundown of why I'm learning to speak Finnish. I will continue to make videos of my journey speaking Finnish and learning Finnish. And hopefully, when I finally make it to Finland, I will make some videos about my experiences in Finland, if all goes well. So, thank you for watching. Kiitos. Hey, hey.